I feel like I should do like the old "To Go Home to Jenny" jingle during the fade, where I go do 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 do. And in fact, actually, I need to probably create a new screen. I'm using my Twitch setup, but because I've changed my YouTube name to Classy Tea Time Jenny, I should probably create a new YouTube one. My hair is looking so good right now. Oh my gosh. This is why people film in daylight, you guys. Like, this is nuts. Hello. Welcome to my sitting room. Mimi is over there. You might be able to hear her occasionally. Meep meeps. She might come into frame, we'll see. But hello, YouTube. Is this my first video of the year? It might be one of my first videos of the year. But basically, one of the things that I was thinking about YouTube is it's a really good place to put things that, because I'm not creating such a bulk of content anymore, if there's particularly something I want to remember or want to kind of log, YouTube is like a really good place to put that thing. It's a really good place for me to go, that was a specific tangible memory that I wanted to keep and log, and I can look back on it. And one of the things that I was talking about on stream the other day, and it's something that is a tangible part of my personality, is I get very much a sense of extreme satisfaction when I finish products, when I remove things from my space. It was one of the things that when I was living with my parents, which I did for 10 years post uni, living out of basically one bedroom, I really found it very satisfying to clear things from my space, whether it be putting things in the attic as just memories, converting physical items into photographs, and then putting the photographs in albums. So things like teddy bears that, I have a connection to, but I'm not really gonna ever snuggle up with again or use in a tangible way. Take a photograph of that creature or that bear, and then put it into a photo album. And then when I want that nostalgic ping for something that I care about, I can just flip through the album, and I don't physically need that object in my space, taking up room, making dust, all of these sort of things. Similarly, things that have like a degrading point. So, for example, I don't know if anyone will ever watch this who will know this memory, but when I went to VidCon in 2015, all of the mods were given Minecraft diamond swords that were made out of foam that were about this big, and that sort of foam literally disintegrates. And so it was causing like blue flakes to be in my personal space, and I'm not going to hang it on my wall. Aesthetically, it's not really my vibe. I've never actually played Minecraft, and so I didn't want that to be in my space. But I didn't want to lose that memory of that gift that was given to the Twitch mods for Trisha. So I took a photograph of it and I put it in an album, and now when I want to think about that thing, it's in my album, ready to go. Like taking old school books, going through old school books, and when I have like something funny I doodled in the margin or some witty comment from a teacher, putting that into a scrapbook rather than keeping these big stacks of old school books, which are 90% just maths or puzzles or like, the creative parts of school that you enjoy. Having that in a massive scrapbook is something that I keep looking at, because one of my scrapbooks is here, and it's so big I don't think I can even get it on the shelf. It's literally like a scrapbook that's like this big. But to conclude, part of my ongoing slash been paused since October last year, I need to really start posting again, projects on Instagram, is my wardrobe appreciation project. I look after clothes pretty well, I believe. A lot of the clothes that I own and still wear are many years old, and I have more or less given up on fast fashion as a default for almost all of my personal clothing. I buy almost every single item of clothing secondhand, apart from underwear. And shoes. Underwear and shoes I usually don't buy secondhand, mostly because, as I will show in a minute, I wreck shoes. I will wear them into the ground. I find it really important to have comfortable, hard wearing shoes that can put up with a lot of stress and a lot of wear. and I wanted them to be comfortable from the get-go. And when you're buying secondhand shoes when they've already been melded to someone else's feet, or you're not really sure about the fit or the size, and then they've already had some of their half-life removed. Now, if I were to buy it for a very short-term occasion, maybe, but I prefer to buy things that I know I'm going to be able to wear for the foreseeable. And so things like buying secondhand shoes that, oh, they pitch a bit, but it's only for one wedding, doesn't work for me. I want to buy shoes that I can wear for a long time. Same with underwear. I don't feel comfortable buying that secondhand. And my socks, again, I very rarely need to buy socks because my socks last forever. But to conclude, this video is going through some of the stuff that I am going to move on from my life, whether that be moving it to charity, so actually giving it away, or moving into my fabric stash, or maybe trying to find an alternate means of using it. But a lot of this stuff actually has emotional context to it, so I was like, I need to log it. I need to put it out somewhere where I can look back and go, oh, that was a thing. So yeah, I've got in front of me a big old pile of clothes, and some of this stuff I have no emotional connection to. I just want to get rid of it, but we'll go from the top. In fact, actually, we're going to start with these babies back here. These I bought myself when I got promoted to my current position. I am the second in command manager at my current role. I came in as assistant manager, I'm now deputy, and I've been deputy for about 3 years. And I bought these shoes as a gift to myself when I made deputy. I have had the heels repinned several times. These are American Duchess shoes. They're about 150 quid when I first bought them, plus import tax, which was about another like 70 quid or something. It's ridiculous, but I love these shoes. These shoes are very comfortable. They have really good arch support. They're really good cross bracket support. They're really pretty. They are appropriate for work. They're the right size heels, and I've worn these for so many 10-hour shifts on my feet. However, I will say, also, these have survived 2 Disney park days. Like, these have survived the day where we did, these were my costume shoes for when we did Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which was many, many hours on my feet. And they also were the shoes I wore to, they were the shoes that I wore when we did Universal Studios and Epcot. No. Was it Universal? No, it was when we did Disney Studios and Epcot. I wore these. I wore different shoes to Universal Studio, but I love them. But you can kind of probably tell that they are wrecked. So as I said, I've had the heels redone multiple times, but this one's starting to split again. The soles of these are dead. About 4 months ago, I went to one of my local cobbler chains and said, is there anything we can do to try and keep this alive? And they said there's not enough soles left for them to be able to add repairs to. And in the back, as you can see, there's a plaster back here in this one, which is where the insole has started, not insole, the back of the heel has started to wreck. It's really very personal showing the inside of my sweaty shoes, but like they're stained, they're wrecked, and I'm very, very sad to let these go. These have had literally 3 years of very hard wear. I've done, as I said, many 10-hour shifts, and I did an 18-hour shift 5 days ago, and it killed them. This whole bit here has just flaked off, and so like there is literally, I can poke pretty much into where my feet go. There's no saving this now. So I'm very sad about that, but what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to turn them into flower pots. I'm going to get some soil and I'm going to plant some flowers, and then they're going to sit outside and be like little witchy flower pots out front. And I'm going to buy some new ones because I need at least 2 pairs of working shoes at any one time, because I wear through shoes like nobody's business. I really do try and keep them alive, but these are dead. So I'm very sad. American Duchess do beautiful work. And again, these have had hard wear. These have been 3 years of hard wear. They've done really, really well, but they are sadly deceased. But they're coming flower pots. Next thing is this dress. This is actually the dress I wore for my interview when I started this particular job. So this dress is, I believe, 8 years old. I have maybe worn it 4 or 5 times. I wore it for my interview. I think I've maybe worn it to like one external meeting, and I maybe worn it for a couple of events at work. But what I like about this dress, and I really hope it comes up on camera, I'm trying to film in the daylight, but you can see it's got these beautiful like sideways slashes in the panel. It's like a really cool design. So it's these long running crossbars all the way across the fabric, and it goes all the way down to the skirt, which has got a reasonable amount of swoosh. It's knee length, and it's such a unique pattern, and it's very like good businesswoman, high neckline, and it's a really pretty shade of blue, which I really do like blue. Unfortunately, I'm not the same size that I was when I bought this dress. When I bought this dress, I was entirely physical at work. I almost never sat down in the office, or if I did sit down in the office, it was like in a really long day. I'd take like 2 hours to do all my admin, and then I was back out on the floor doing things, running around. I was also relying on my bike for transportation. I didn't drive anywhere. I was living local to my previous job, so I just biked to and from, and it was like a 5-minute cycle. At the point where I interviewed for this and I wore this and I was successful, it fitted. Then it fitted for the next couple of years because, again, I was even more physical for the first couple of years of my current job. I was biking 10 miles each direction per day. So I was biking 20 miles a day during the summer. During the winter, I was biking about 3 miles each day, each direction. So I was biking 5 miles a day, plus also then being very physically on my feet. I am not the size that I was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, this fitted and looked real good on me. Now it just highlights all of the lumps and bumps that have come with being over the age of 30. So this is a beautiful dress. And I really hope that someone else can wear it and take the use of it, because as I said, I maybe worn it 5, 6 times, and it is a gorgeous dress for what it is, but doesn't fit me. It needs to go. Next, let's do one with less emotional charge. This one here is a emergency purchase fast fashion, which is literally one of maybe I can't even think of any emergency fast fashion purchases that I've made in the last decade. I'm sure if I were to go through my purchases long haul, I could probably find a couple of emergency fast fashion purchases. This is one of them. This was even last year. This is shockingly panic shopping. So this is a red velvet gown. It's got little buttons down the front. It's got little boobies, and I purchased this in a rush because it was just before the work Christmas party. I tried on the dress that I thought I was going to wear. It did not fit anymore. I looked at the rest of my wardrobe, and the two dresses that were alternative options, a green lace one and a black one with red and cream dots, which was cast off from my big sister, both of which I've had for many years. The green one I think is about... I think I remember wearing it to my sister's engagement party, or maybe one of her graduation parties. So that is probably a decade old. And the red dotty dress, the black dotty dress that I just described, that was a cast off from my sister, who I think got it when she was in her early 20s or maybe even late teens, so that's probably 15 years old, which he cast off to me a couple of years ago. And for this work Christmas party, I'd worn the dotty dress during the summer, I'd worn the dotty dress the Christmas party the year before, I'd worn the green dress for the summer party, and the green dress for the Christmas party the year before. So I had two dresses which I'd literally worn for 4 work events between the two of them over the course of 2 years. And I was just like, I can't wear either of those. I didn't have anything else in my wardrobe. So I thought, you know what, maybe it's time for something new. It was like 4 days before the actual event. I didn't have time to go charity shopping. And I thought, you know what, let's get some velvet. Velvet's very Christmassy. It's very nice. This does not fit me. This, I had to wear a very particular type of bra, because these booby cups, I don't know who is the shape? I'm sure there are people that are this shape, and can get away with this shape where they are. Not me. I had to be very creative with my underwear choices, and then just be like, okay, I'm flaunting. We've got this. Trying to choose work Christmas outfits is so hard because you still want to be respectable, you still want to be a little bit sexy, you still want to be like winter fashion, but you also don't want to be too hot on the dance floor. You want to be able to eat, but you still want to be pretty. Like there's so many different issues with the work Christmas things. You want to wear, like, the thing is, I wear a lot of monochromes or black at work, so I don't want to wear a little black dress because that feels like too much like work clothes. Regardless, I bought this dress. It's fine. It's a perfectly acceptable garment. And to be honest, the fabric is really pretty and shiny. And like, look at that reflection. Ooh, that's pretty. But I'm not going to rip this up for fabric. This is a whole garment. Someone out there who is a different shape to me can buy this and wear it a couple of times and enjoy it. And it is still a whole garment. It's fast fashion. There's cheap like things done in construction. The way the back works is it's just something about the way that the back hangs just feels really like cheap and poorly constructed to me. The way that the booby cups work, just there's something not quite right. Now I do appreciate the buttons and I appreciate the concept. But this dress will be going to charity because I have no emotional connection to it. I do not want to build an emotional connection to it. It doesn't fit. And it is a whole garment, so I'm not going to recycle it for fabric, no matter how tempting that beautiful red shine is. So that is going to charity. This skirt has been around for a long time. This skirt, I think I've had since I was like, I feel like I had it in uni. I think it's one of my first waist skirts from uni. So I think I've had this for about 16 years. It's very swooshy. It's a very swooshy, very pretty skirt. I don't even know where this is from. It's from Largo, whichever log. That's from Log. No idea which like main main high street fashion brand that's from. It's very swooshy. It's very pretty. Lots of swoosh. It is got a nice elasticated back. And it's quite thin though. Can you see through it? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's hard to, obviously, yeah, you can kind of see through it. You can see my arm through it. It's very pretty. I don't tend to wear such short skirts anymore. Like if this is on my waist, this is coming down well above my knees. Shocking. And I tend to gravitate towards longer skirts, particularly in summer, because that means less sun cream. Also, it's a bit snug on the waist. I can wear it, I can still fit it, but I am past the point of feeling like being cinched is pleasant. And this isn't like an occasion where it's my friend's wedding, I'm gonna like suck it in just to feel like I'm really like putting the effort in for a party. This is like a summer relaxed skirt, and I don't fit it. It's beautiful. It's such a pretty fabric. So I'm very torn because again, the rule about if it's a whole garment, I don't want to cut it up for no reason. But this is a really pretty fabric. It's very drapey, beautiful fabric. So I'm kind of tempted to put it in the fabric stash. Because again, this has been in my life for like at least 15 to 16 years. And I kind of want to keep the memory of it. But it is a whole garment. So this one's going to go into the maybe charity, maybe fabric stash. Just because I want to keep it for the nostalgia of the fabric. The fabric's so pretty and it's been with me so long. I think there's one of my favorite videos from a long time ago was a dance video, and I think I wore this skirt for a dance video and I really like it. So that's going to go in the maybe fabric stash, maybe charity. Similarly, this baby, talking about swoosh, this skirt has been in my life since GCSE, which means since I was 15 years old. I bought this skirt for a play that I was in for GCSE drama called Blue Remembered Hills. It's about some stroppy 7-year-olds during in the countryside during the Second World War who bully one of their friends so badly he kills himself in a barn. He sets the barn on fire. It's a horrible play. And they specifically say they want all of the characters to be played by adults because the extreme lack of empathy and childish dismissal for like understanding and companionship, if actually played by children, would lessen how horrible the children are. But I got to play the ugly one. So this is the skirt that I got to play the ugly one. Now, when I first got this, this sat around my hips and swung around my ankles. I have since worn it on my waist, and because it's pleated, it has so much swoosh. In fact, if you find the swoosh emoji on my Twitch channel, it is this skirt. This skirt, because it's pleated, has so much swoosh. Now, this skirt has literally been in my life for longer than more than half my life. More than half my life, I've had this skirt. It's very snug on the waist. It's a good amount of, it's a properly well-built garment. I don't know, Alexon. It's apparently a UK size 12. I don't know when this was a UK size 12 because it is snug on me and I'm a size 8 to 10 usually. But yes, I'm very torn on what to do with this because, like, I did rehem it a couple of years ago. It's got a bit of fluff on it. I did rehem this a couple of years ago, which is fine. The skirt lining is hot garbage. It's too tight to wear in winter. I like to wear layers in winter. It is too thick and wool for summer, but I don't want to get rid of it. So I think what I'm going to have to do with this is find some way to appreciate it in my fabric stash. I do not think this is a whole enough garment to go to charity. I have replaced the buttons. I gave them really cute, like little vintage metal buttons, which I don't know whether you can see. Look at those little cuties. It's still basically a functional garment, but I don't think it's functional enough to go to charity. But I do not want to get rid of this because this is pure nostalgia. This has been in my life so long, from GCSE to Twitch. It is the swoosh emoji. Look at that swoosh. It's such a well-built garment. Maybe I'll lose weight. I doubt it. I'm not intending to. But this is going to go into the fabric stash at least. So maybe I can find some means of putting this to memory, like turning it into a cushion or something. Turning it into, I don't know. That's fabric stash for definite. This, similarly, is another fabric stash for definite. This is my first ever walking skirt that I made. So this was post Bernadette Banner doing her walking skirts. This was the second walking skirt I made. And in fact, the other one that I made, I'm still leaving in my wardrobe. So the first one I made was a knee length high-low, because I created a little bit of a sort of train walking skirt out of red and blue tartan. First one I created, I'm actually still really happy with it. I'm really happy. I recycled some old muslin. I bought some synthetic wool. I'm really happy with that one. This one, I'm still pretty happy with. Like, I've used much better fabric. So this is a really nice cotton on the inside and the outside. It's fully lined. I flat lined it. It's full length. I like it, but I didn't do very well on the placket. The placket is a hot mess. I definitely made the placket way too small. It's only like about a centimetre across. I made it too tight, even with the options on the button size. It's still, like, even on the looser setting, it's a bit too snug now. The inside construction is not the cleanest. I made the pocket way too small. The pocket is tiny in comparison to other pockets that I made, and also a really awkward shape. I made it square instead of making it like curved like most modern pockets. It's fine. The other thing that's happened with this one is it kind of became a default crafting skirt. So if I find the front, I've definitely done some blue dyeing in this. There's like blue dye stains, there's like brown wood stains, there's paint stains. I usually won't wear this for crafting. I'm not going to put on a full-length walking skirt in order to do crafting now. I'm probably going to wear some old pajamas if I'm going to do crafting or painting or DIY. So it's not good enough to wear out and about in real life because this construction's not great and it's got stains, it's got paint stains, it's got dye stains. It's not good enough for me to wear. Like when will I wear this? I can't wear it out and about. I can't wear it indoors. I do appreciate that I did pattern match. The pattern matching on the panels, I'm really happy with. That was one of the things I did improve on from the first walking skirt to this one. There's still quite a lot of fabric, and there's some really nice lining fabric. I feel like this can be recycled to other projects. I think I can recycle both the lining and the outer as lining for other projects. Also the colors, like I don't tend to wear like turquoisey blue. I'm much more of a kind of navy, kind of more relaxed blue. So I think this can go into the fabric stash, and I think it'd be really useful because it's got such long panels. Like the panels are long and wide. I think this can be really easily recycled in the fabric stash. It's a learning experience. I was very happy with it at the time, but I have made 2 much better walking skirts since. I made one winter walking skirt and my summer walking skirt, which I'm so proud of and so happy with that I'm literally going to be wearing it to my cousin's wedding. I'm so excited. I wore it to like a black tie event. My sewing skills have progressed greatly in comparison to this. So this is pure posterity. This skirt is going to go into the fabric stash. I'm going to remember it fondly. It served me well. I didn't use a pattern. I entirely drafted my own pattern. But I think it's time for this, as I haven't worn it in literally about two to 3 years, and I have better skirts. This is going to go into the fabric stash. How long is this video? I was like, this is going to be a quick little video. I'm just going to quickly sit down and just go through my stuff. I'm glad I'm doing this on my my Twitch, not my camera. My camera would have run out of battery. This is another first fashion purchase. Similar thing. This is from the year before work Christmas party. So the work Christmas party from the year before, where I, in the end, chose to wear the black dress with the dots because I'd worn it for the summer party, and then I ordered this, thinking that it would somehow be like a darker blue, or like it'll be a slightly high quality lace, and this is just too summery for. It's just too summery for a work Christmas party. It is too floral. So I tried it on. I wasn't really happy how, again, construction flaws, like the way that the heart line, like the sweetheart neckline works, it kind of weirdly bowed in places. Didn't quite fit around the armpits or the arm eyes. It was fine. But I was like, no, I can't wear this to work Christmas party. Okay, I'll keep it. I bought it. I'll keep it. I did wear it to my cousin's wedding last year. I'm in the generation where suddenly all my cousins are getting married. And I danced my socks off in this. I did dance my socks off in it. I have some lovely pictures of me wearing this with my sisters. It was a very good wedding gown, but I have literally no emotional attachment to it. I don't think it fits me very well. I wore a petticoat with it, and then I took the petticoat off when the dancing started. And it's very synthetic, obviously. It is fast fashion. It is a whole garment. I did do some repairs because some of the lace broke almost immediately, which, yeah, I've re-sewn a lot of like the lace around the waist already. I did step on the lace in my heels when I was dancing rather vigorously. So I've had to trim the lace at the bottom. Someone out in the world can take this and really love this dress, but I never did. I don't love it. I have worn it one time, and I don't really intend to wear it again, which is so disappointing given that it's 2 years old. I bought this for Christmas, not this Christmas gone, the Christmas before, and I've worn it to last year's wedding. So I think someone else can love this. I think it's very current fashion, very cute. You can definitely buy this lace on Etsy. I've seen this lace on Etsy, and part of me again wants to pillage all of the parts of this dress from my fabric stash because the lace is really cute. But again, it's a whole garment that someone else can love. So if someone else wants to go out and wear it, then that's more important than my fabric stash. So that is going to charity. Next is some ones that I need to make decisions on. Let's do some quick ones. So we have, this was a cast off from a family friend. It's a stripy dress. I've literally tried it on and said, nope, that doesn't fit me. And so it's going straight to charity. It's a cute little sort of summer dress with a like a little tie waist. I have no idea how the family friend who loaned me this fitted it, because it did not fit me and we have very different body types. I have no idea how it ever fitted her, but it certainly doesn't fit me. So that is going straight to charity, not stopping past go. Then we also have this mug. I love mugs, don't get me wrong. I buy mugs all the hecking time. I find it hard to not... Hello, memes! I got the cat mug and then you suddenly come and say hello. Do you want to come up? Are you coming up? It's a cat mug. My sister and I were charity shopping. She was like, that's cute, have that. And I was like, okay, I don't know if it's my style. It's cute. It has tabby. The most dominant of the coat patterns amongst domestic cats described is tabby. Tabby markings consist of dark spots or stripes on here in the background of the fur. Recognized as the tabby patterns are tickled, mackerel, spotted, and classic blotched. It has pictures of tabbies. It's a cute mug. However, I have about 30 mugs and I live alone. I cannot justify keeping this. I do not need it. I do not like to use it. It's slightly the wrong size for me. I feel like it's too small. And someone else can love it. So that's going straight to charity. Yes. Now we're back to some emotional ones. This one, those of you who have been following me on Twitch might remember this dress. This is a tunic dress that I wore to my cousin's wedding. A decade ago or more. I think their kids are like nearly in secondary school. It was a while ago. This was my oldest cousin's wedding. We had a wedding in Bath. It was a absolutely sweltering day. This is a new look dress that's really cute. Look at the butterflies. Oh, and painstakingly, about a year ago, I removed the lining and then I re-sewed the trim using the lining to re-sew within the arm's eye, with the intention of this being an external tunic. So I can wear like a cotton or a comfortable, so the lining for this was very synthetic, so it's very sweaty. It's a very short dress. So if you want to wear it as a dress, it's very, very short. You could wear it over jeans or over something else, and then it had a lining in it. The lining would bunch up. So when I wore this, I did wear this as a dress, which it's very short. I spent a lot of time pulling it over my bottom during my cousin's wedding. It was a very hot day. There was a lot of other short dresses. It was fine. But I was like, it was too hot. It was too sweaty. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to wear this as a dress. I'm going to wear it over trousers or over shorts. And in order to make it more comfortable for summer, I'll just take the lining out and then I can wear a vest underneath it. Have I worn it once since I took the lining out? No. Had I worn it really at all before taking the lining out? Since my jeans and tunic phase, which was a uni phase. A uni phase for me was flared jean trousers, and then we had tunic tops coming down to like the mid-thigh. This was one of those. I would wear this with my long sweaters, and I'd wear this over jeans with its lining. It's so synthetic. It's so sweaty. It feels clammy to wear. So I was like, you know what? If I take the lining out and then I wear like a cotton vest underneath, it won't feel so clammy. The trouble is, I just don't wear this shape. I don't wear jeans. So where am I going to wear this? I'm going to wear these over shorts. I wear shorts maybe 5 times a year, if that. If it's an occasion where I'm wearing shorts, I'm not going to be wearing something this floaty and pretty and drapey on top. Because most of the time when I'm wearing shorts, I'm like going for a walk. I'm not going to wear it with my waist skirts because it's got this kind of elasticated waist. And then I just look like a lampshade. I can't wear it underneath the dresses and underneath my skirts because the waist that's all weird and puckered would stick out the front anyway. It doesn't work as a place within my clothing. The shape doesn't work for what I want. And I have also tried, again, without ever wearing it outdoors, tried it wearing it with the vests that I was intending to wear. So wear like a cotton vest and then this goes on top and it just bunches weirdly. So this is going to go into fabric stash because it is such a pretty fabric. I can't express how much joy this fabric brings me in terms of colour and pattern and how floaty and beautiful it is. And I spent so long hand sewing this neckline to try and make it something that I would wear. Also, the neckline's a bit too high for me now. So this is going to go into the fabric stash and hopefully I can find some means of using this fabric to make something that I like, whether it's something I wear or something that's used to decorate my house, I do not know. Fabric stash. Right. Similar to the wool skirt that has the pleats in it, the one back over there, it's out of frame, of course it is, the swoosh skirt. This is a wool skirt that I bought from a charity shop, which I think was altered when I first bought it. There was hand stitching already in this when I first bought it. There'd been like adjustments to the waist, there'd been adjustments to the pocket, there'd been just a couple of things that I was like, someone else has already made the best out of this. This is Marks and Sparks. I wonder what year this is from. It's a size 14 Marks and Spencers, which I definitely feel like this is too snug for a size 14. However, I think it has been 2010. This skirt is 15 years old. I've only had it for about... How long have I been watching Rachel Maskey? About 5 years, 5-6 years. I thought this is a really good brown wool basic. It's got a good amount of swoosh. It's good for winter. However, this has shrunk in the wash quite a few times. It has weird puckering all around the hem. I've had to reduce, like sew up the lining. You can see how much the lining has been brought up. It's literally about 20 centimeters worth of lining that I've had to fold up because what keeps happening is every time I wash this, the wool shrinks and so the lining has to be brought up so it doesn't show. It's an absolutely fine basic. It's such a good basic brown. My basics tend to be blue, I'm not gonna lie, you may have noticed that. So it's a really good basic. Do I avoid wearing it most of the time because it's too boring, it's brown, and it's just weirdly tight in places and the wool's kind of warped? Yes. Do I think this is a good enough garment given that I've resewn it? And again, if you this was one of the things that when I first got it, can you see that stitching around the zip? So the previous owner had already adjusted the zip. That is not me. That stitching there is not me. That was when I bought it. I have very mixed feelings about this because I do not think it is quite a good enough garment to go back to charity. It's already been through the charity shop cycle once, having been adjusted by the previous person. I adjusted all the lining. I think this might just need to go into the fabric stash and maybe I'll make like a wool stays or something, or I don't know, maybe I can make something out of this that will be useful. It's a really nice wool. It's a really good quality garment, but as I said, I bought it already adjusted. I've since made adjustments and I don't reach for it anymore. I was reaching for it almost every single time I was going out in winter. This was like the thing I reached for and I've just stopped reaching for it because it's just too short now. This sits well above my knees. Like, if it's on my waist, it's above my knees. It hangs funny. Yeah, I've tried my best with it, but I think this is going into fabric stash because I do not think it's a good enough garment to go back to charity for the second cycle. We're nearly there, guys, and we have two very contentious things. Okay, all right. So this dress, I love this dress so much. This dress has got some of the most beautiful draped, pleated work. It's just gorgeous. Camera's not even able to focus on the beauty. Come on, camera. Look at that. That is just so well done. It has such beautiful swoosh. It's a really beautiful colour. What's What size? Is this a size 6 or size? This is a size 6. I wore this to VidCon 2015. And I could fit into it at VidCon 2015. Like, if I, like, put it up to me now, like, the, no, just, like, this is how to show your aging in real time. I fitted this, and, like, now it won't even, like, it won't even go to, like, halfway round my waist, let alone the concept of this going round. I definitely couldn't zip this up. I was much skinnier and much fitter 10 years ago. Nature of the game. I went to VidCon 2015. I was 23 or 22. Yeah. It's beautiful. This dress is so gorgeous. I've worn it to another cousin's wedding. Oh my god. I wore this to my second cousin who got married's wedding, which was a midwinter wedding. It was a midwinter wedding. Oh, maybe it was summer. It was much colder than a lot of other weddings. This wedding I went to, it was in Leeds. It was a very lovely wedding. And I was much thinner, I would seem. Now, if this had a back zipper, I might convert it to lace up and then give it another go. Unfortunately, it's a side zipper, and I'm not going to cut into this beautiful pleat work at the back. The pleat work continues at the back as well. I'm not going to cut into that to try and alter it. Someone else can love this dress. I don't even know which, it's from Coast. Someone else can love this dress. Someone else can look like a sexy babe in this dress. Like, I look back at the pictures from VidCon and I look back at the videos from VidCon 2015 of me wearing this dress and I'm like, damn girl. I also wore it to a work Christmas party. It's time to let go of this. This is beautiful. I love it so much. But it is a whole garment that has gone to at least 2-3 like big occasions in my life: a wedding, VidCon, and work Christmas party, and many occasions in between. This used to be like my default, the equivalent of my little black dress, and it's still in really good condition, and I think someone else can love this. But in order for me to fit this into this again, I am going to have to become very ill, and I'm not doing that. So that is going in the charity shop pile, and I'm very glad to put this on YouTube so that I can have posterity for this dress, because this dress has been with me for over a decade, and so I'm very sad to let it go, but someone else can love it. Last but not least, this skirt. I have such mixed feelings about this skirt. So this skirt is from Next. It's a gorgeous sort of silk. It's beautiful fabric. It's beautiful pattern. It feels like it's so lovely to touch. And it's very sort of, it comes down to like mid-calf. It's really beautifully constructed. Kind of reminds me of a sort of Edwardian style dress. The thing with this dress is I tried it on the shop, and I tried it on in, I believe, an 8. And then in a size 6. And the lady in the shop was like, "Ooh, that size 6 looks really good on you." And I was like, "Yeah, it does. Yeah, the size 6 looks really good on me." So I bought it in a size 6. Which, like, it used to zip up at some point. But I bought it in a size 6 because the lady in the shop was like, "Yes, size 6 looks amazing on you." I should have had a friend or a family member with me, someone who would have told me the truth, that is completely unsustainable. But such is. The trouble with this as well is because of the nature of the fabric and the pattern, what top do you wear with this? Like, you can't wear black with black. You can wear like a green, but then like you don't want to wear like a top that overpowers it. You want to wear something plain, but something that's also like the same sort of fabric quality. I have never been able to find a top that I can wear with this skirt. So on top of it being toit, I think I wore it to one Halloween party. But I've not worn it because I've not been able to find a top to wear with it. What goes with this? It's gorgeous. It has beautiful deep pockets with a paperclip in it, apparently. Like on both sides. Like this is like the ultimate pattern for me. Like this is a skirt pattern that like now is my default style. I've worn it to a couple of work events. Like a couple of times I did wear this to work. When I've been like it's been a more formal sort of occasion, I've worn this to work. And that's been it. Those are the only times that I've worn this to work. I've never worn it to like a party, I've never worn it to a special occasion. I've just worn it to work when there's been an occasion to wear it to work, and I've gained weight since wearing this. Now the trouble with this as well is there is some snagging at the front, probably from wearing it to work. I don't know whether or not it'll come up on camera, but there's like some fibers that have gone here. You can see a little bit of like laddering. What I did before as an alteration is there's a little bit of boning at the back here that I added. So I folded down where the waistband was and added some boning. So instead of attaching here, it attaches here. So that gives me like a little bit of extra waist space. Even so, it's now too tight. Now, if this was just a little bit less damaged, it would go into the charity shop rule. However, because of the snagging to the front, I think it could still be donated to charity. I think a lot of charity shops would accept it in the condition it is in. However, I think I can do something with this in terms of fabric stash. I think this is so beautiful of a fabric. It's, again, I can't express how beautiful this is. But I don't think I'm ever going to wear it in its current form. I don't know what I'm going to turn it into, but this is going to go into the fabric stash. And we're gonna have to find something beautiful to make with this. Maybe a top. Maybe I can make a beautiful top to go with this. I think maybe. Can you imagine this as stays? I might have to make some practice stays before I convert this, because this is just, it's too beautiful. But yes, that is the last item. Did that take a lot longer than I was expecting? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm chilling out my work skirt still. But that is stuff that I'm getting rid of. And you know what? After getting rid of those stuff from my drawers, I managed to actually negotiate some drawer space, which is amazing. And everything that's currently in my wardrobe, at least, is stuff that I regularly reach for, stuff that I regularly enjoy wearing, stuff that fits. So I'm glad to have the posterity of being like, hey, I love this stuff. You're going but not forgotten. Going but not forgotten. And hopefully someone else can love you in the same way that I have loved you. There's some other stuff that's in my fabric stash that I think I maybe should go through as well. Maybe I'll do that later, maybe next week, as another video of the stuff that's already in my fabric stash, which I hope to maybe convert into something else. But yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out today. I hope you've all had a pleasant time going back through. No feats for free. No feats for free. I hope you guys have had a good time hanging out. And yeah, I don't know if anyone else feels the same way that I do about having an emotional attachment to things that have been in your life. Almost all of this, if you were to put an average, at least all of this is 5 years old. Even this, which I've never worn and was only given to me 6 months ago. Like, that school, like, seriously skews some of these items away from a decade old as average into the 5 years old as average. Most of this stuff is a decade old. So I am very sad to let a lot of it go. But hopefully I can make some beautiful things out of it. Yeah. Thank you all so much for hanging out, and be kind to yourself, be kind to others, feel free to comment. It's a YouTube video! What is this madness? You know what, it's probably been a long enough video. How long has this been going for? This has been going for 49 minutes. Okay, it's been a while, so let's do it. Hey guys, secret chat thing. If you guys managed to watch all the way to the end of the video, if you somehow fit the word Is there anything good in my vicinity that hasn't been obviously included in the video? Let's type the word. It says a magnet that I painted a few years ago. Let's type the word starfish in chat if you made it to the end. If you made it to the end, somehow find a way of integrating starfish into the comment. So you can like make it real subtle, try and come up with some sort of code or riddle, or just type the word starfish. I don't care. Just to see who made it to the end of the video. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, much neglected YouTube. I do need to do more Instagram, more YouTube, but this I think really works for me, is to use this as a log of things that I want to be able to remember, but I don't want cluttering up my life. So thank you for letting me use this as a sort of, log box, a memory box, a time capsule of these clothes and what they mean to me. And yeah, thank you for helping me keep my house tidy and managed and not overwhelming. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have a good day. Bye. Boop.